Welcome to A Date with Danu right here on High TV, your luxury channel. This is the season finale of my first season. It has been amazing spending 15 weeks with some well-known personalities and the ones who have a lot of stories to tell. Well, it's time to look back at some of the fun moments on this show. And my first guest, this was a fun combination. Rishini and Aritha, dating back to the 23rd of September 2018. This was my first episode. So trying to shoot this with them was a bit of a tricky thing because we have not shot it still. So we just were not so sure how long the shoot will go. So we wanted to get people who are comfortable with spending some time with us. Well, things that I got to know about them. Rishini, well, still in doubt about her sexual preferences because all her friends sort of threw her under the bus. Some of those photographs, I tell you. Aritha, it was so amazing to know that he was able to speak about his sexuality and how open his family is and how welcoming they were when it comes to accepting him the way it was. And his brothers were his biggest support. All this and more, of course, on the show with lots of laughter and mostly throwing Rishini under the bus. Rishini, why would you say you're still single?
Because I haven't met the right guy.
She clings on to something.
No, you know, so he first actually had a crush on me. Actually, Danu, it's because even you're not available, he's not available.
That is true. That is true. Are you sure that you backed to the right team? Did you
Excuse
go through
me?
a bad time? I really want to know what happened here.
Oh my God, how did you get that picture? That is from university.
So explain this to me.
This is, oh my good God.
Why are you
this
so
is,
intimate with her?
Who is
okay,
that?
this is Malsha.
Why is Marsha?
So Malsha and I are childhood friends.
Yeah, doesn't
and
look
this
like
is
it.
when both of us were in university. And
They're
we were just
sister
posing.
sisters.
Really?
No, we were
Posing?
Aritha.
Are y'all kissing
We-
sisters?
Absolutely not. Not like you and Aritha. Not like you and Aritha.
On the 30th of September 2018, I had a fashion power brand. That's, of course, Ramona and Sharini. Sharini was pregnant at that time and no one knew, and she wanted to make sure that no one saw it as well. So she wore this long gown, one of her own creations, and made sure that her pregnant Bundy never showed. Now this show was very special because this brand, although they are so known for some brilliant designs that they put together, there was always a bit of a problem from Ramona's side with Indi Yapa. So this was the point where we confronted on that particular sensitive topic. This show had some great moments and at the same time, a very special moment that came out with Ramona speaking about her friendship with Indi and where it stands right now. When you say the word tomboy, I think it can go to you.
Yeah, you know me too well.
Yeah. My introduction to her was sweaty, sandy Hikkaduwa Beach Festival many, many years ago.
Yes.
Yeah. And I don't know what in the world we were doing. So tell me about the drama that goes in between the name Indi Variyappa. Now, you were very close with Indi.
Yes.
And then what happened? Why was this fallout?
I think it was a mutual understanding in the end.
Okay.
I was very, very close to her. She was like my own sister. But I think because same industry, people couldn't understand how two people can be friends. And
But how did this sort of work through?
This has
This has
nothing
been
to do
there.
with that, but people have asked us the same
Yeah.
question.
Because y'all are all from that same time
That's
period.
right,
Like
that's
all of
right.
y'all were thrown to that spotlight
Yeah.
together.
so,
So
this
it
one, I
yeah.
know from MA's days. So first
Did
day
she give
she
you
comes
attitude
from
on the first
UK.
day?
Yeah, she gave me attitude. She comes on a visit to Sri Lanka from UK. And then she's like, she was actually heading her team for
Probably.
design. And it was my first day, and then she was like, "Oh, you're eating avocado, right?" I was like, "Yeah, I love avocado."
Oh, that's fattening.
And then she's like, "It's so fattening. I mean, you shouldn't be having that."
But I was skinny then, right?
She was tiny, right? And I was like, "I'm sorry, I'm going to have whatever I want."
My next guest on the show I had so much of fun. 7th of October, I'll never forget this date. What I remember is the fact that I gave Hasita a name called Gluteus. Tanuja, I respect this girl for so many reasons. She has a brilliant story about her life. And something that she told me, I was like, can I ask you something while we're taking pictures after the show was done? I was like, are those lips of yours real? And she's like, no, I've injected in it. I was like, can I ask that please? She's like, you're done with the show. Now you can't. I'm like, what? Happy to have Tanuja and joined by Hasita, aka Gluteus. And that's a name that we found for him today.
You found.
But can you blame me? He wouldn't sit because he just didn't want to crush his beautiful bottom. How are your friends about it? They're like, Machang, look at Tanuja, will you? Do you have this conversation? Do they like say, oh my God, like, yeah, you speak 7 words per day. How did you manage to get this sorted?
Well, yeah, obviously, like, they think that she's hot and stuff.
Yeah.
But then they were wondering, like, why I got married so young.
Yeah.
That was their biggest issue.
Yeah.
But I was like, well, when you
When
know
you feel
it.
it's right.
When you feel it, you know it, that you need to get it done, you know?
Yeah.
And I think, like, and I know that I made the right decision.
Even worse.
Okay, so
What
this
is
was
going on
What
there?
is the
Seriously,
tip?
what
What
is
is
going
the
on?
tip all about?
These are
I mean,
big
what
match
if-
pick.
What is that little
No,
thing?
but Hasita, the big match pick, fine. You're wearing a match t-shirt.
What's
going
that?
on there? Why is all of your hair like a bouffant, then comes up into like a little thin line?
Yeah, what is this tip? Explain. Give it
No,
to him,
it is
please.
a
Friends who
it's
are
a
hairstylists.
bouffant tip.
I don't know what
Look at this. Big,
Yeah, you are like a marker
like a
pen.
like a mushroom with a mohawk.
He's like a marker pen, you know, like a highlighter, like a thick one.
Now,
and just-
Hasita has shown me some pictures where I've just gone, Jesus Christ, I can't believe I married you.
But no, I hope not all tips are thin.
Thankfully, no.
We move on to 2 power women, Selena and Shanuki, on the 14th of October. My 4th show was a bit of a tricky one. I wanted to get empowered women who can speak about how it is to be a woman in Sri Lanka. These 2 have contributed so much in creating equality and also speaking, being vocal about issues, and that's what's brilliant about them. They're 2 powerhouses, so amazing in what they do and also so humble about everything.
I don't really feel married.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah, you know.
No,
I don't think it.
it's
it's
actually yes, and
the wedding was fun. Like it was a massive party.
You just wanted a place to have a party.
Yeah.
So found a reason.
Exactly.
I don't like rules being imposed on what a relationship should be.
Yeah, not even on your health. Seems like it.
Are we going to talk about that now?
But she just swallowed garlic. She doesn't want to walk into a hospital. I'd rather take hospital any time over garlic, I promise you, at any given time. See, that could be the problem, you know.
What?
Garlic
What
could be
is
an
it?
issue.
Okay.
My 5th set of guests on the show ended up having a fight with me because they were supposed to be my 3rd set of guests. This went on air on the 21st of October. I still remember how much I fought with Hindi. I was like, well, if you can't do this, no problem. This is how you are. Cancelling at the last minute, because they did cancel on the show at the last minute because they were flying abroad. And this fight really did go down. And I told her, I'm shooting with you on the 5th of October. I'll never forget this. So tell me about the loss of your mum. Would have been the biggest.
Yeah, so that happened when I was like around, I think I was 10,
Okay.
just turned 10. So it was like a really, like a major shock. It took us about 5 years to properly get through the trauma, and realize this actually happened to us and we have to move on with the life. So it was pretty hard.
Welcome. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having us, Danu.
Out of the 2 divas here, Sahan was the biggest diva.
Yeah.
No, I don't want to be here. Oh.
It's the same, you know. Look at it. It's an empty table. There's nothing here. We are on a date with Danu, and I don't get any love.
Why I'm so fond of Indi is the fact that she has a beautiful story about her life. The fact that her mum has left her in the most painful way, but she spoke about it and she melted on the show. But that's because she was a mum to her brothers. She brought out something so great. Her little brother is still her little son. always. There are so many amazing things about the relationship that they share, about how they had failed marriages and they found them and they became one unit. They spoke about it all. And what's brilliant about Indi and Sahan is the fact that they're so humble, simple, and so honest about their life. Amazing. Beyond the talent that she has, it's always nice to know a little personal story.
People came to us and like questioned about our friendship.
Right.
I literally like helped her with groceries to like setting up her house to everything. I looked up to her. She's a little senior to me. When I first got here from London, she's like he used to be like my sister. Well, it's just like having coffee with him at home.
It was kind of boring.
Oh no.
You know,
It's
he
been
didn't
nice.
have anything, he didn't have any coffee, he didn't have any roses or anything like that.
Yeah.
No chocolate, so it was boring to me.
Was it?
Yeah.
I thought he was quite funny with
Like to
he has
me,
done like a bit
going
of
on a date
research.
with Danu, I was expecting more, but I didn't get that love.
But he had like good comebacks on stuff, and he went a little personal with things.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
He's done his research quite well and all that.
He had a lot of ugly pictures of us, which we were not very happy about. But yeah,
I don't
It
think
was
his
fun.
suit
It
matched
was fun.
him that day.
Oh,
It was a
no,
bit
don't
too
be
tight.
mean.
His suit was a bit too tight.
no.
And he was even sitting while buttoned up, so I think he should have,
Danu, see, I am the friend. He's not. Yeah.
I think Danu personally is an overgrown baby. He's overgrown for everything, his pants to his shirts to his head. But in general, he's a very nice guy. He's a very emotional guy. He tends to hide it, to the outside world and all that. But inside him, he has this very emotional side, I think.
Yeah. So Danu and us, especially me, we have become like almost family now. Got very close in the past couple of years, and he knows way too much about us, I guess. And he's a member in our house now. We can't party without him. So we just felt very natural and real when we met him for Date with Danu. Well, I thought like in Sri Lanka, it's the first time something like Date with Danu happened.
Yes.
And that was by him.
Yep.
I'm sure it was his idea. And I think it worked out really well. He had really good guests.
Yep.
And hoping to see like the second season, third, fourth.
Yeah, definitely. I think
I'm sure.
I think he's already locked in for season 2, so that's good. But what do you want to see in the second season? More cat fights, more
I think-
enemies.
I think
you
he
should
should
pair
make it-
people who are real good enemies. Bring them to the couch. Like,
Yeah, maybe surprise them.
exactly.
Yeah, maybe surprise
Not
with
tell
the
anyone
other guests.
who's gonna sit next to you and come and
Yeah.
surprise them.
Yeah, see how awkwardness turns into a friendship, maybe.
Yes,
You know, you
could
never
bring them
know.
together.
Welcome back to the show. It's a season finale for Date with Danu right here on High TV, your luxury channel. My next guest. This show went on air on the 28th of October, featuring Dirk and Anitra. Dirk, known for his very busy corporate life, and right now he's enjoying it with his wife and beautiful children, and at the same time, this whole drama with Colombo Fashion Week.
I got into fashion a long time ago.
Right.
It was my first business actually that I started.
When was
I had
this?
This was probably in the late 70s.
Right. The times when you used to end up on the CFW stage reduced. Why was that?
Well, I mean, this was all things that happened as the show went on, I guess. It's
Some people like publicity more than others.
Okay.
Yeah, so-
But that was the time when you used to do this.
Yeah, there was a time when we used to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it stopped.
Yeah.
So I thought I'll bring this back to you and show the two expressions on each faces.
Yeah.
Who is actually the face of Colombo Fashion Week? Is it Ajay or is it Dirk? What's exactly going down? Well, although I kind of know the answer right now, I cannot reveal the whole thing. But more on this on season 2. But Anitra spoke about how it is to be a great model and the fact that, discipline is what all these models today need, and the fact that how she believes in living such a clean life. This is your real hair,
Yes, it is.
and this is how it aged.
Well, I was white at 30.
Right. It was young when it aged.
Yeah, but I stopped dyeing it only about 5 years ago.
Right. You used
I
to
got
have
the
it-
guts to do it about 5
What
years
was
ago.
the color before? You used to have it brown?
Sort of chestnut brown.
Yeah, but this suits you better.
Oh, thank you.
It has become your signature look.
Yeah.
Andre Stefan and Timo. These two guys have been together for a long time. And what's amazing about them is the fact that they spoke about the connection and Stefan's one-time marriage to Chula. And what is the drama with Chagall? Now, Stefan and Gerald were co-owners of this salon Chagall. And then Stefan walked away and started Arc, who is a hair and makeup partner. So what is the drama there? We just wanted to speak more about it on the show. You were once married to Chula, who you somehow made her a supermodel of our country.
This is another misconception Colombo has. My middle name in no way is Jesus. Right? I didn't create anything, right? So, you know, right? Chula always had an amazing sort of possibility of becoming. Always.
Her jawline is a gift from God.
No, I mean, there's no question about the fact that she had everything it took.
What made you start Arc? Why? Because you made a brand out of Chagall. It was like everyone's hair solution.
Okay, like anything else, I think when directors don't see eye to eye on taking a product forward, right? I mean, to me, I will always say one very important thing, which is why I think maybe this question is more interesting than juicy.
Yeah.
To me, even to date, I still have not met any hairdresser who cuts as well as Gerald.
Next up on the show, on the 11th of November 2018, I had these two beauty queens. They both won Miss Sri Lanka for Miss Universe. And why the two of them together? Well, when Amanda won Miss Sri Lanka for Universe, everyone said, "Oh, you look like Stephanie." And I predicted both of them winning. Just wanted to put myself there. But here's the story. Both of them have a lot in common. One, they both don't have a crown to hold on to. They both didn't get a national costume to represent Sri Lanka on a proper manner. They were not exactly looked after as beauty queens, so they had a miserable reign. And we wanted to speak about it, so I had them on the show. You don't even have a crown.
I don't have a crown.
You didn't get your air ticket. You didn't have your gown to wear. You didn't have any evening outfit.
Well, I was given a gown to wear, to be fair, but it was terrible. It was lopsided and see-through, so I actually had to, and I didn't get a training. I mean, like you, Amanda,
Same story.
I was an academic. I had never opened a fashion magazine. I didn't know how to put makeup. The extent of my makeup bag was a kajal little thing that I would put and lip balm.
Stepping out from here, I didn't know exactly what to expect when I went there initially. So once you go there, you realize that your lack of training, one thing, you've never been taught to walk on a stage like that. You have to learn a specific walk. Then apart from your training, your wardrobe is key over there.
Dating back to 18th of November 2018. Now this was a very special show. The reason, Gerald was giving back the answers that Stefan left up in the air. Now these questions about Chagall and the fact that would they ever be friends because they were a great part of working together, and the fact that Stefan actually used to wash people's hair at Gerald's salon way back in Australia. Now that's the past that they have. And Gerald said, no, I'm never going to talk to him again. So that friendship is just a full stop there. Anusha is Gerald's closest friend, and he gets invited for everything that Anusha goes for, and sometimes he doesn't even apparently have a say. So it's more like, okay, fine, I'll come. It was a joint venture where it was Chagall, the name was brought in, and you and Stefan were great friends and great business partners. But when did it all sort of break?
About 2.5 years ago, we just went our own direction.
Are you happy with the decision?
I am very happy. The happiest I've ever been. I don't have to answer to anybody or think about anybody but myself.
Anusha, now you're equally loved and hated in Colombo. There's always two sides to it.
I think there's always two sides to anybody or anything.
So how is your relationship with the editor of the High magazine?
Well, she's the editor of High magazine. I'm Anusha David. This is High TV, and you're interviewing me on High TV.
So you and Shamli are good friends, or y'all are acquaintances?
Well, I wouldn't even say we're acquaintances.
A date with Danu. It was fabulous. It was fun. I enjoyed it. I hope he enjoyed it. It was an experience.
Well, as for me, yes, it was fun. I enjoyed it. I have to say I was a bit nervous because I'm not very good on TV. But we had a great time. I think Danu is a very entertaining, very gregarious, very good-natured, outgoing personality. So it is easy to react with him on TV. A couple of questions did throw me off, a little bit off balance, but it was fun. It was fun. We enjoyed it.
And I had the most loved Sri Lankan musicians, Bhatia and Santosh, on the 25th of November. What I love about these two guys, they are simple and both of them are so different. Bhatia is the one who keeps everything in check. Santosh is someone who is so family oriented, loves a good meal, enjoys simple conversation. Now Bhatia spoke about how many years it has been, 20 years in the music industry, and what a journey it has been. And the fact that I wanted to know why they ended up doing some political endorsements. The brand Bhatia and Santosh is celebrating 20 years in the music industry.
Yes.
And how young were you when you started this?
Now you're getting me to spill out the beans.
Yeah, just sort of.
So we started this exactly on my 22nd birthday.
Right.
So it was my 22nd birthday when we started Bhatia and Santosh.
In this 20 years,
yes,
have you all ever contemplated, either one of you, like we need to stop this?
No, I don't think so.
What is your opinion about the new music? No, these new music videos with bananas in people's mouth, whips being hung.
Have you seen us do anything like that?
No, I just want to know whether that would be the only way.
See, everybody has their own personal view.
Everyone has their right to do whatever they want to do.
That is true.
But it's like this. We are a country, to a great extent, we have a certain amount of conservatism within us.
Yeah.
Right? Just there is only one small thing you need to do. When you're about to do that, just think, do you want your son or your daughter to see that? Then
that's a most simple thing.
That is true. Welcome back to my final segment with you. And this is the month of December, as we were close in the show. 2nd of December, it was Angela and Kaushi on the show. Angela Senivaratna and Kaushi Fonseca spoke about their relationship with Gamini Fonseca, the late, great actor, and of course someone who sort of changed the way Sri Lanka cinema is seen. And of course, Angela had to speak about her painful past. Although the love affair was brilliant, he was so loved and respected, she didn't have such a great life with him, according to her, and in terms of how she would not be allowed to wear anything else except a candy and sari. But whereas Kaushi spoke about the great and the brilliant relationship she treasures with her dad and so much more. So Auntie Angie, you never signed the dotted lines when it comes to marrying Fonseca.
No.
Was it a problem?
Not to him, because he kept brainwashing me that it's only a piece of paper.
Yeah, because you never became the wife of Fonseca.
No. I was always the other woman there.
You're always daddy's little girl.
Yeah.
A lot. Like there are always pictures that go up. And what are the best memories that you have with him?
When we used to watch cartoons and stuff, he used to come and do a baila dance in front of the TV, which was really annoying at that time. But now we look at it and we're like, oh.
So Auntie Angie, it was mandatory that you wear a candy and sari when you were with Mr. Gamini Fonseca?
Very mandatory.
And not showing any midrib, nothing?
No midriff, no ankle, and no biceps.
Next up on the show, local, fun, and honest. Randeep and Ashanti, the two who have now got together as a power couple. Breaking away from the BNS family, but not angry, but just going out there and doing their own thing. Spoke about their relationship with Bhatia Santosh as they announced this year that they are both breaking away from this whole gang that used to see BNS and the team that used to go out. But they are about to do great things for this year. Ashanti and Randhir live a very different life apart from what you see on stage. Randhir is so quiet and most of the time looks annoyed and just given up in life. I did ask him about that. Randhir, why do you look just irritated about life most of the time?
Is that a serious question?
Yeah.
I think it's more about, that says more about you than it says about me, my friend.
And Ashanti, who always covers up for him and brings out the fun. It was a great interview, and also the fact that you could come to know a little bit more about the great voices that you hear. But the whole BNS family is what sort of created everyone into mega stars, and like y'all became international sensation. But today y'all have stepped out and y'all are growing your own brand personally and together as the two of you. Tell me about how was it working for so many years together and being a part of that journey?
Yeah, so I think Ashanti, Mara, Maria, myself, I think all of us used Bharti and Santosh. That was the platform that gave all of us access to this industry. We initially, I guess, were supporting acts to Bharti and Santosh. And as time went by, we created our own music, our own brand began to emerge, and then I suppose we kind of outgrew the whole supporting act thing, and then each of us, I mean, it was a very organic growth, very organic progression, yeah. So once that happened, I think all of us kind of went our own ways.
Next up on the show, I had Rosie Senanayake and Tisakya. Thank you, Rosie, for being on the show. She was not feeling so well when she made it, and she was not so happy that she didn't wear sari. Tisakya is someone who I'm very, very fond of. So real, so honest, so beautiful, and lovely, lovely person. And at the same time, I think her husband is very good looking. So I've told her I'm also in the marriage. It's a three-way thing. But apart from the fun things, the serious factor was the fact that the whole millions that were used to rebuild a mayor's house toilet, and she did clarify it as we started the show.
You know, I have a bone to pick with you as well. This is the toilet issue.
Yes. I wanted to talk about it.
Yeah, you better talk about it because I want to put this on record.
Yeah.
I did. The very next day itself, I brought the finance paper. I had a press conference and I said, I haven't spent they said 5.7. The entire cost of the renovation of the residence was 5.2 million.
Then I had to ask the famous word for the year 2018, Samanalaya. Talking about one of the brewing topics today, the president calling the prime minister Samanalaya.
You know, I think the president has gone nuts. Seriously. He's cuckoo.
Thank you. Okay.
This is not a laughing matter. We are talking about a country that has been set back. You know, the setback is so detrimental. He's really crazy.
The king of Baila. I can never get enough of him. We share the same alma mater. Sunil Pereira and Manisha on the 23rd of December. What's amazing is the fact that Manisha looks so much, or literally a picture of the mom. Picture. Wanted to speak to Sunil, apart from his great music of Kottamali and the works, about the fact that he has a brilliant family and they're so connected and they have so many cousins. It's always a party in their house. Wanted to speak about the biggest betrayal that became public news in terms of their marriage, and how open he was to speak about how great his wife was, who he fell in love and got married at the age of just 15, when she was just 15, who was a fan of his. But he spoke so highly and said that, you know, she is the foundation that kept the Pereira family together, and he gives all credit to her. There was a time when your marriage was crunch time. And you were so public about it, you spoke about it and you said, hey, I made a mistake and now I want to work things out.
When you're married and you're committed to a relationship, there are certain things that you shouldn't do, but you still do it.
Yeah.
And I have done it. I don't think it's right. It will definitely affect that relationship and the family, born family, with regard to children and wife, and everything will
sort of
will break up, and it's not the right thing. It's not like, you know, it may be certain situation that has pushed you into certain things, and greed for certain things, and but I still say where I have gone wrong, I have done wrong, I still say That's wrong.
So what's the age gap between you and your wife?
15.
My gosh. Cradle snatcher.
Cradle snatcher.
Cradle snatcher. And finally, to close the season, I had the famous director Chandran Ratnam together with Nihara as we close the month 30th of December 2018. This show didn't have so much of controversial topics to talk about. It was a very heartwarming show. The brilliant love affair and how he made Nihara say yes at last.
I was on my way for a film fair occasion. I was hosting a party at the Hyatt Penthouse.
Right.
And I had seen this chick at the airport. And then, I thought she was a South Indian...
Cute little thing.
Meenachi type.
Meenachi.
That's what I thought.
I like this
Okay.
Meenachi. 15 weeks, 15 set of guests on Date with Danu. Boy, I had such a great time. And these people really did open up. Well, the good news, I have another season coming up. I'll see you with a brand new season. Till then, you keep smiling. It's a wrap.